Time for another exercise. This time about styles and classes. We learned about them in the last lectures. Now it's time to really work on them yourselves so that you get comfortable using them. Here's the setup I'm using. I prepared some styles on the right here, this effect div, which is this div here, which basically is a div or a block with a black border, and then a highlight and a shrink class. We will need these classes for the very first exercise, where I want to start the effect by clicking the Start Effect button. And what should the effect be? I want to alternate between highlight and shrink classes on this div, and we can alternate by using the setInterval function. It works kind of as setTimeout, but whereas setTimeout finishes after 3 seconds, setInterval fires every 2 seconds, 1 second, whatever we set up. So this allows us to then kind of come up with the idea how we could switch these classes. And there might also be more than one way to do that, to be honest. So this is the first exercise we'll do. The second exercise then wants you to create a couple of CSS classes on your own. So be creative, create whatever you want, and attach them to this div here then, via the array syntax. That's important. So use this array syntax you learned about to attach your CSS classes here. Also feel free to mix the different styles of using a property which refers to a class name and maybe a property which refers to an object where we have the key as a class name and the value which is true or false, which decides whether this class should be attached. The third exercise lets the user enter a class, so you should also create them still so that they are available, but then we want to use this input to, attach this class. So come up with an idea of how you might do that to listen to the user input and then attach the respective class to this div. In the fourth example, we will still let the user enter a class, and I also want to let the user enter true or false for another class, so that we maybe use this array syntax where the first element might be the class the user enters, and the second one might be a class set up by you where the user is then only able to switch between true or false. So that is the next exercise. Here at number 5, I want to repeat the exercise from number 3. But now with the values for styles instead of class names. So the user is still able to enter something here, but the something is no longer a class name of a class you created, but the value of a style you predefined. For example, you could just add background color to this div and let the user set this background color style. Also feel free with playing around with different ways of adding this style to this div. And on exercise number 6, I want to create a simple progress bar with setInterval, which fires, let's say, every half a second, and then these style bindings to increase the width of our progress bar. We don't have to make that too complicated, but yeah, let's try to implement a basic bar here. These are the exercises. In the next video, I'm going through possible solutions so that you can compare your solutions to mine and see if you got stuck anywhere or if you got up with another idea, which obviously can work just fine too. So see you there.